Aries, welcome to your reading for the week of the 31st of October. This week, make sure to check out astrodar.com for new readers and old readers as well that you can check out there. But having said that, let's see what's going on this week. Well, you have 3 aces, so that is pretty awesome. Actually, I'm going to pull an extra card. There we go. So, yeah, you start, there could be a lot of new beginnings this week, end of the month, beginning of the next month, so that would make a lot of sense as well. We have the Ace of Clubs coming in first. A card of, I say, stacking skills onto yourself. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck, I think, because it probably allows you to be the most successful for the week. You definitely have to work for it, but again, it allows you to be more successful than anybody else. So with this card, the trick is anywhere you're trying to move forward is to learn something new. And again, that could be through literally learning something new by going to school, or reading a book, or watching YouTube videos on things that you're interested in, and anything like that. So again, anywhere you're stuck, anywhere you're not moving forward, or even if you're not stuck, it doesn't matter. I mean, anywhere where you want to get moving forward, or you want to see improvements, or you want to see increase in whatever, this is a card of learning something new to do that. So I definitely encourage you all to learn something this week. I would say 3 aces as well. Crazy. I mean, to me, aces are like kind of almost cards of starting over. I always say that they represent 0 to me, and but that's kind of like the wrong way of saying it, because they don't represent like starting over with nothing. They represent starting over with a bunch of stuff like knowledge and things like that. Next, you have the Ace of Hearts. Very good card for your emotions this week, feeling very happy, having a lot of good things happening to you. I'm also getting that this week you should pay attention to any messages you receive from home, wherever that may be. You know, whether that's from your parents, or or just from back home, about wherever you're from or whatever. Definitely pay attention to all messages you receive from any of those places. If you also have like a feeling that reminds you of home or something along those lines, or maybe reminds you of something that would happen back home or something, pay attention to those feelings. For some reason, I'm getting that it could be very important for you this week to feel those things and to kind of see what comes up. Next, we have the 4 of Clubs. I always call this card Mercury retrograde, so double check everything you do this week, and really just make sure that especially if you're like buying something expensive, really make sure that you need it or want it or have the money. And again, it's a card that it doesn't say don't do those things. It just says really just make sure that you're doing the right things. Also, double check contracts and things like that this week with this card. This is also a great card for adventure, though. So a lot of you could be planning some sort of adventure, like a move, or like a literal adventure, like a vacation or something like that. So it's great for planning any of those things out in your life as well. Next, you show up right here, Queen of Clubs. That's you. And as I always say, it's a great thing when you show up as your own sign. Puts you in a position of strength, position of power, allows you to get what you want from the reading, and kind of gives you a little bit of luck this week as well. This card is also great for friends and dealing with friends and talking with friends and all of those things. Anything having to do with your friendship type relationships. It's also a great card for mentors. So any of you that are looking for a mentor or need a mentor, again, don't get too caught up on the queen thing. It could be male or female. You could be finding like some sort of mentor or something like that. I always say that the Queen of Clubs is like one of those cards where, if you're looking to move forward in your career or something like that, it's about finding that one mentor or something that could really help you out. And it's even about finding like a specialist. Like if you're trying to specialize in something like, cooking or something like that, it's about finding somebody who can train you. And it kind of represents being able to get a much better education from like that person than you would from like going to school or anything like that. So, pay attention if somebody comes into your life in a mentor-like fashion. Could be very helpful for you. Next, you have the Ace of Spades. Looking at overcoming obstacles, I would say everybody is doing this right now. I think this is going to be a very general card for this week, and probably I'd say for the next like year, really, especially with the astrology and the way things are going there. So a lot of people could be coming up with more creative solutions for problems, and doing all sorts of things like that. If you notice, like, for the past few years, it's like we've been going through these stages of coming up with solutions, even just on a global scale, and nothing has really worked. And it's mostly because either people just complain about stuff and they expect it to change, or whatever. So none of these things work. This card, again, just I might do a separate video on it because I think it's actually really important. But I think that this is just a sign of the times, and a sign that people are realizing that nobody can really help them. We have to help ourselves, and that's what this card's all about: coming up with solutions for yourself. And then, like I said, it's a very good card because it represents existing problems being resolved, overcoming obstacles, and coming up with your own solutions. It actually leaves you in a much better place than if somebody else were to solve it for you. So I really like this card a lot. I could go on and on about this card for like an hour, so I'm not going to, but it's a really good card. And finally, you end with the Seven of Clubs. So again, very similar to that Ace of Clubs in that this card represents escaping from prison, like you escaping from something that you don't want, changing your life. And it represents, like I say, Seven of Clubs is actually a good card because to me it represents you taking actions to make positive change in your life. So looks like a very interesting week. Thank you for watching and enjoy it.